Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today I'm going to add to my antenna arsenal a remote automatic antenna tuner. This one comes from my friends over at Chameleon. It is the URT1. Check this thing out. It is solid. That looks like it was machined out of a piece of aluminum and then they put all the guts inside. It's all weatherproof and it's going outdoors, so I don't want to open it up, but I will if it ever has any failures, which I doubt it will. And then check out these mounting brackets. Those are pretty thick as well. I'm going to take a short coax jumper from my friends over at ABR. I'm going to connect that into the antenna port on the bottom there. But if you had a random wire antenna, you could use that. Before I do any of that though, I got to get it on my antenna connector on the front of the RV, and I'm using the Chameleon military whip, the Chameleon MIL 2.0. It comes with all of the mounting hardware I need. I am using some unistrut as my vertical riser over there, and these go right over the unistrut. Then they go right into the back of the mount right there. Should be an easy job to do. And there we are, the Chameleon Antennas URT1. And I thought it was upside down, but it's written that same way on the back there too. And the reason I thought it was upside down is because the beehive antenna connector for just regular old random wires is on the bottom, and to me that should be on the top. But you know, should for aesthetic purposes, not should for any antenna purposes. Maybe it is upside down. I don't know. But here's my short jumper. I wanted to keep this as short as possible, so this is a 1 foot range, because that's going to affect the tuning a little bit. And technically it's all 50 ohms from the transmitter up to here, and then from here we want to do a match to our antenna. All right, looks good. My unistrut isn't the thickest unistrut out there, so I have to put a little bit of a shim back there when I get back from the hardware store, but I got radios to play with. It's not bad, it's pretty close. That bolt head up there seems to help out a little bit. But all I'm worried about right now is that it doesn't fall down to the ground and I get to get on the air and play radio. So that's what I'm gonna do. That antenna that's out there is 9.4 feet long. So not really resonant on anything, 2.8 meters. What is that, a quarter wave of 10? Is probably the closest you're gonna get to it. So we'll try all the bands because that's what I like to do. And it's gonna go from 160 through 6, so we'll start at 160. So actually, with the ARC 705 cage around the IC 705, the feet on this tuner sit right in there. And it's not going anywhere, and it looks like it was designed to be there. That's pretty cool. So first off, I'm gonna switch this over to a carrier mode, like RIDI, and we're gonna put out, and here is the SWR meter on the 705 down here. It's the second line from the bottom, and 3-to-1 SWR is in the middle. Up here is infinite, and we wanna be somewhere below 2. All right, 160 meter band, infinite SWR. Key up the microphone, see the bad SWR, tap it, and I'm gonna keep this held down. And of course I can't hear it because it's outside. I think I might actually just be able to hear it. I'm waiting for it to say complete. It's probably not going to complete on this band, but it should tell me that it can't find it by giving me an error message. No way you're going to be able to pick that up on the microphone, but I can hear it. I need a remote microphone on my remote tuner. The cool part about this though is that during the tuning cycle, it is protecting your radio. And here's the reason why it won't find a match. This is a 9.4 foot antenna on 160 meters. It's not going to find a match, but I wanted to try. You know me, this is what I do. Let's get back over to another band. All right, now that the impossible is out of the way, let's try something slightly more possible. Let's see where we are. She's already happy. I want to try it anyway. I'm gonna, oh, that's why, LSB. Let's put it into a carrier mode. Okay, infinite SWR, hit the button, she's trying. Okay, I'm gonna put it out of its misery and we're gonna change to another mode, another band, 7 megahertz, 40 meters, carrier mode. Where are we? Oh, look, we're not infinite this time. We're slightly less than infinite. So key up, hit the button once, let go, and we got complete. Where are we on SWR? 2-to-1, okay. Can we do better than 2-to-1? 2-to-1's all we're gonna get. And again, for a 9.4 foot tall antenna, I'm not complaining. We'll try a taller antenna after we're done with this one, but I always like to give it the hardest thing I can think of first. And 9.4 foot antenna on 160 meters, that's the hardest thing I can think of. All right, next band. We're getting better and better as we go up the band. So let's do RIDI mode, and let's do, where are we? Less than infinite, so we're gonna be able to tune it, I'm sure. Key up, hit the button, let go, and wait. Wait for the complete light to come on. And she's on. What do we get? Oh, we got 1-to-1 on that one. Excellent. Let's do 20 meters, my favorite band for only historical reasons. High SWR. So we'll key up, we'll hit the button, and she's trying. All right, that one took a long time to go. Almost like I might have missed it. Yep, I'm gonna call it on that one. Let's try another band, 17 meters. Let's do, where are we? We're already good? Oh, wrong mode. I keep forgetting to do that. All right, we're below infinite, so we should do pretty good. Key up, hit the button, and we got it. We got a match. One and change, and it dims the lights a little bit when I key up. Nice. Okay, so now let's change bands from 17 to 21. Carrier mode. 2.5, can we beat 2.5? And we tuned up quick on that one. So 1 point something. Let's take a look at this thing here, because we've got one of these. Oh, and the flickering lights for effect. Nice. All right, what's next? 24. What is 24? Is 24 is 12 meters. Let's do ready. 2 to 1. And we found a match. We're at 1.1, 1.2. Beautiful. And then, like I said, 9.4 is really close to a quarter wave on 10. No nothing. FM would have worked fine, but let's do ready. Let's see where we are. 2.5, we'll get that easy. And we're done. So 1.3, not bad. And then the last band that this can do is 6 meters, 50 megahertz. 1.5 already. All right, good to go. And didn't really do much for me on that one, 1.5. All right, so I'm gonna go take the 9.4 foot whip off and I'm gonna put a 17 foot whip on and we're gonna retry these bands again. That wasn't all that bad. I mean, again, asking an awful lot trying to get 160 meters out of 9.4 foot of antenna. On 160 meters on a 17 foot whip with no tuner, infinite SWR. Tap this once to start a tune cycle. The SWR is still changing, so it's probably still trying. All right, I have a little bit of empathy for my radio and for the tuner and for all the other things involved in this. I don't think it's going to get 160 meters on a 17 foot antenna. So let's throw it into 80 meters. Where are we? Infinite. How do we fix that? We tune. I wish there was some better feedback that it was or was not tuning. Like right now I can't tell that it's doing anything. This is just a power on light to let you know that the power's on. Even watching all the rest of the meters, you can kind of judge with this ID meter down here at the bottom that it may or may not be getting more efficient. You can see the SWR meter moving a little bit. You can see the ALC meter moving a little bit. Yep, we're asking too much of it. Let's try 40 meters. 40 meters should be pretty easy. Where are we? We're a little bit above 3 to 1. Yeah, we'll be able to get this, no problem. Key up, hit the button, let her get to work, and we got the complete light. I wish that would stay on lit, because you could be looking away and miss that. So we tuned up just fine. We're at 1.3 to 1. Beautiful. Let's do 30 meters. Where are we? Close to infinite. Can we tune it? Yes, we can. And we got 1 to 1 on that band. Let's do 20 meters. Where are we? I don't know, 7 to 1, I guess? There's between 3 and infinite, there's no number, so it's just a guess. So key up, hit the tune button and let go and wait for it to do its magic. The complete light came on, we're good. And 1 to 1, 1 point something to 1. 20 meters, 17 meters. That one's already good enough without it. Can we touch it up even better? All right, we're tuned up, 1 to 1, beautiful. I like that this thing will try even below 1.5. Switch it over there to 21, which is 15 meters. So some of your antenna tuners, when they reach a match of 1.5, they're like, this is good enough, we'll stop. Manual tuners, you can get that down to 1.1 to 1 all day long just by continuing to work. Some of your automatic tuners, there's a setting where you can make that change and tell it to tune below a certain threshold. And then this one here appears to just go all the way as far as it can, which I like. All right, so we didn't try this one yet. Where are we? 3 to 1, we'll tune that. And we're tuned. So now the question is, do we have a memory? Let's go back to 20, we haven't done 24. Let's go back to 17. So 2 to 1, no memory there. 21, we're still good enough there. Let's go back to 18, because this is the one where when we tuned up, it got us 1 to 1. Yeah, so it's not having any memory of where it was. Okay, 21 is good. 24 is 12. A little bit above infinite there. Let's tune her up. A little bit below infinite is what I meant, and we're down to 1 to 1. Complete. Complete at 1.5. Perfect. All right, 28, 10 meters. And this is a 17-foot whip on 10 meters. So right up there in the red, and I turn the meters off. Turn the meters back on. Uh, 1.6 to 1, I guess. And then the last band that this can do is 6 meters. Where are we? We're already pretty good. Can we get any better? And we're done. Yeah, a little better. Not bad. Okay. If it'll tune it, the RF will flow. And that's what I like about using a tuner and whatever wire or whatever you got with you. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife for your antenna system. And it is actually really cool to have a remote tuner because your coax from your radio out to the tuner is already resonant at 50 ohms. So you're not trying to tune the antenna and the coax and whatever balun or unun you happen to have, depending on your antenna type. You're just trying to tune the antenna, and you're as close to the antenna as you can. I think even all the old SAD hams will agree that this is the best way to go with a remote tuner. It'd be even better if I didn't have that 1 foot section of coax between the tuner and the antenna. If I just connected a straight wire up to that beehive mount on the top and or bottom of the remote tuner. One of the things I'm used to is having that tuner in the shack with me where I can hear all that audible feedback, all the clicking and whatnot as the relays fire to change back and forth between different inductance values and different capacitance values and trying to figure it out. I'm not sure why, but it appears that this tuner doesn't have any memories in it. Let me take a look at the specs and see what I can come up with on the specs. I also want to know what kind of match this is supposed to be able to hit, because I thought we were going to be able to get 80 meters on the 17-foot whip. All right, so I'm looking up the specs page here. It says frequency range 1.8 to 54, which is 160 to 6, which I mentioned for you. Power handling, this is important. 125 watts SSB phone and CW, and then 100 watts SSB phone and CW on 50 megahertz, 6 meters, which is actually kind of normal. Most automatic tuners have a weird love affair with 6 meter band. 60 watts all other modes, so FT8, 60 watts. Tuning power, this will tune with as low as half a watt, and it will take up to 1500 watts during tuning. So turn your radio's power down. The 705 only goes to 10 watts, so I was never in any danger. Tuning time, 5 seconds for a full tune, 0.1 seconds for a memory tune. I wasn't seeing any memory tunes. It does say it has 16,000 memories that it can tune with a built-in frequency sensor. So maybe it just didn't sense the frequency properly on my crazy antenna experiment. Power supply, 12 to 14 volts DC, 1 amp. So here's where it gets interesting. It will light up when you provide RF through the coax, whether there's a power cable connected to it or not. And if you do tune up, you can then turn the power off to conserve some battery life for you if you're operating portable with this, because it has the magnetic latching relays, which I think are a must in any kind of automatic antenna tuner. Let's see, temperature range, it works from 14 degrees to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 8.5 by 5 by 2 inches, roughly. Tuner weight, 38 ounces. Coupler dimensions, 5 by 4 by 7 roughly. And the coupler weight is less than a pound, 14 ounces. So I had to do a little bit of digging. Let me see if I can find it again for you. The matching range was 5, it's on the big page in the paragraphs, was 5 to 1500 ohms is what it'll match. And if you do the math, that 1500 ohms comes out to 30 to 1. It's not the way that, 1500 divided by 50 equals 30. That's not the way that these things work. They have inside a specific set of inductors and a specific set of capacitors, and they can match a very broad range, but they can't match infinitely every bit of the range like a manual tuner can. They can only match these inductances with these capacitances, and they play the mix and match game until they find a good SWR, which is what all that relay clicking sound is that you hear. I'm going to see if I can get you a relay clicking sound by taking my remote microphone outside. I showed you the connections outside on the remote antenna tuner unit, how it connects to the antenna above it through that little short coax jumper. Now let's show you the internal connections. This here is the back of the coupler unit, and when you are outside, you'll see two coax ports. One of them says to antenna. That's what we connected the antenna to. The other one says to coupler. That is this guy here. So this is the coax that's coming in from outdoors. So it says to tuner. On the outside it says to coupler. So you connect those two to each other. Over here it says to transmitters. So you can see this one coming up here and connecting to the ICOM 705. And then it needs a little bit of DC juice. So we've got to plug it into our workbench power supply. Okay folks, that is the remote antenna tuner. That's a wrap on that guy right there. A little bit of extra information for you. There are many ways to install this. I put mine on some unistrut. You can mount it to the bottom of your antenna mast. You can screw it directly into your wall. You can mount it on a board inside of your shack somewhere, closer to your antenna, of course, if you wanted it to be inside. It does have regular PL259, SO239 connectors on it, so waterproof those bad boys up. I would install it the other way so that the coax connectors are pointed down, but for the beauty shots in the video, I didn't want you guys to complain that the writing was upside down. That would be silly of me. But mount it with the coax connectors upside down, put some of that fancy 3M tape on it to keep the water out of it, and you'll be good to go for a good long time. I will leave some links in the description down below where you can get that 17-foot whip from Chameleon or the 9.4-foot foldable military whip from Chameleon. That thing's pretty cool. I like it. It's just fun. It's just fun to have. I mean, it works too, don't get me wrong, but it's also just fun to have. And of course, the tuner itself. On your way down there, make sure you hit the subscribe button as you go by. Like, you know, don't be too hasty. Take your time. Subscribe, then look at the description for the links. And if this wasn't enough for you, there is a video right over here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.